Well, here at 6 News, we spend a month each year talking about mental health.
It's a topic that affects so many people in so many ways.
And it can be triggered by so many things, including the lack of time and the lack of money.
So our Jorma Duran sat down with an expert to talk about financial trauma and what you can do to fight it.
Lalsha Cunningham, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, there are a lot of things that take a toll on people's mental health. I know job pressures or not having enough time in the day to finish stuff that you need to get done. But I have to believe making ends meet financially is maybe the biggest stress in people's minds. How much pressure is money?
Well, absolutely. Let me just say this first. There's three important parts of health, and that's our physical health, our mental health, and financial health. And that's really a new concept now to hear about financial health, which is the state of money. But it's very important because it really determines how we live our lives, how much, how many credit scores that we have. And also, I always tell my clients, it's also a huge part of our financial power.
Well, let's talk about things like a big, large debt, or if someone loses their job, there's going to be a huge financial impact. I know there's a thing called financial trauma. Talk a little bit about what that is.
Exactly what you just said is when they have a huge change to their finances, whether it's because of a job lost, whether it's because of overwhelming debt, which is also huge, what we think about perhaps a foreclosure, even some cases repossessions. But
what do you recommend if something happens like that? Because I know the anxiety and the pressure at that point has got to be at the 10.
That's why it's so important for us to have that emergency fund, because those funds will help us when we call it life happens, when unexpected events happens. Those funds will be able to carry us somewhat until we're able to secure another job. But it all starts with doing the savings so we can increase those funds. Without that, these are the causes that go into that financial trauma, that job loss, which also has an impact on our mental health, anxiety, panic attacks, and then we think about physical health. When you're starting to think about your money all the time, sometimes you start to have like chest pains, you have that, weird feeling in your stomach sometimes, and those are all physical health impacts, and it all really just comes from that one particular incident that started with perhaps could be a job loss.
Lalsha Cunningham, thank you so much for talking with us today. She's from Gesher Human Services. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we have a special coming up at the end of the month that tackles various aspects of mental health, and we have resources to help you or a loved one cope. You can find those on our website at WLNS.com.